If you've been following along on the channel for the past month or so, you would have seen these computers in front of me before. These were part of a video where we were fixing broken computers. This one I could not fix, and this one I didn't want to fix because I had other plans for them. And this is the video where we do something with them. So if you remember, this one had a bad screen. This one I bought specifically for this video, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take apart both of these computers and reuse the parts as decorations around the office. There's a lot of people that have been doing this, and it looks really cool, especially in a tech place like this. I mean, look at all of this stuff. We've got a Mac Mini up there, and I think these are going to make some pretty cool additions to the studio. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this white iMac and I'm going to take the front bezel off of it, and we are going to replace this black screen with something else. I'm still deciding what to do. Maybe a mirror, maybe a cork board. As for this iMac over here, we got this giant plastic base, and we're going to take this off and we're going to use it as a lampshade. I already have the lamp that I've been using for several years now, and we're just going to replace the lampshade with this. So let's go ahead and get started and start taking apart these computers and turning them into decorations. Taking the front bezel off of the iMac was pretty simple. It was only a couple of screws holding it in place along with 2 clips in the air vent. After that, the front bezel came right off and it looks great. It's going to work really well as a cork board. And what you see in front of me is the remnants of the iMac G4. This one was a little more involved of a process. It's harder because it's so old. There's not really any guides on how to take it apart, but there's just a ton of T10 screws, and it's really not that hard to take apart. After we took the dome off, there was actually a metal reinforcement piece inside of that, which made it super strong and heavy, but not something we want for our lampshade. It was just a matter of taking out that inside, and well, look at it. We got R2-D2 now. That's pretty cool, actually. But now we finally do have our acrylic plastic shell that we need. There's nothing inside of it. It's very lightweight, and this is what we're going to use for our lampshade. And I went on eBay and I bought this. This is a silver iMac front bezel, the same type of thing as the white iMac, but I didn't actually buy a computer specifically to take it apart and use it for pieces. It actually ended up being cheaper to buy this separately. I got this for free and I got this for $20. Those are okay prices. I got this silver iMac front for $16. You can't really find a silver iMac, even in broken condition, for that cheap. So in that case, it made more sense to buy the piece itself. But now we have 2 front bezels and 1 dome. Let's go ahead and get started making our decorations. First, let's go ahead and build our cork board. I decided to use the white iMac for the cork board, and it was actually very simple to do. I went to Michael's and I got a cork board. It was a little too long, but it was the perfect width. Like, it was absolutely perfect. And what I did was I just cut the length to how I needed it to be, and then I just stuck it behind the iMac. This white iMac does not have a glass on the front, so it actually fits behind the screen cutout, and it looks really good. It actually came with some double-sided adhesive pads, which I used. They're a little thick, but not terrible, and I think it worked out pretty well. It's holding pretty good, and it looks super nice. I love the cork on white. I think that looks really great. And for our thumbtacks, we can go ahead and use keycaps. I do not have a keyboard, but I will be getting one soon, so I'll be able to make one out of that. So this one was pretty simple. We just cut the cork board to size and stuck it in there. That was pretty much it. As for the iMac mirror, this one was a little more difficult. I could not find a mirror that was actually the right size that was going to fit, and because this iMac has a glass front, it doesn't really look great if it fits behind, so it actually has to sit on top of the iMac frame. Since I couldn't find a mirror, I needed one that was custom made. I found a local glass shop and they made a piece of glass for me. They did their own fabrication on the glass. Instead of sending it out to their supplier to do the custom rounded corners, they did it on their own. It's very hard to get rounded corners that are very good, so it wasn't the perfect job, but it worked out pretty well. The glass is protruding a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad. It was only $15. They mounted it in the iMac frame, they cut the glass to size, and they even did a really great job of rounding the corners. I don't think it could have looked any better for that price. I'm super pleased with the results. Since they mounted it, which I wasn't even thinking they were going to, I don't know exactly how they mounted it. It looks like some sort of epoxy, something that they put on the metal of the iMac and stuck it in there. If I was going to mount it myself, I might have used magnets. The iMac has magnets in it for the glass. That would be a possible option, but I think it looks really great. That's by far my favorite piece. $15 for the custom cut glass and $16 for the frame. I think for $30, that looks really great. And finally, for the iMac G4, as I told you, I already have that lamp. It was just a matter of taking off the lampshade and sticking in the new one. Mounting is a little bit different. On the original lampshade, there are cutouts for it to lock into place. This one does not have that, but the bulb will hold it in place. It's lightweight enough that the bulb with its threads will hold the shade in place, and you can rotate it and change its position as needed. Unfortunately, my bulb is a little too big to fit through the hole completely, so I did have to get an extender for that. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you are having the same issue. But with that extender, the bulb sits a little bit lower, but it holds it in place and it looks really great. So there you go. Those are a couple of easy and cheap ways to decorate your house or office with Mac parts. We made a cork board, we made a mirror, and we made a lampshade. I really love the way these turned out, and the mirror is by far my favorite. It looks so good, and I'm super pleased with the job they did. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. This is Mark, That Tech, and I will see you in the next one.